This girl finds a computer virus that kills humans, but instantly enjoys it when Isabel Stone and 4 university pals appear next. Tim and Maddie are drinking at a busy pub. Everyone is having fun except Maddie, who worries about her computer geek boyfriend Josh, who has been gone for a week. Isabel worries and proposes moving on from Josh. Tim, who likes Maddie, offers to accompany her home, which she politely rejects since he's only a buddy. Maddie checks her voicemails when she gets home, including one from her mother and one from Josh. The second message is empty. Josh calls her name and hangs up. Maddie worries and calls him back, but he doesn't answer that night. Maddie can't sleep, so she checks on her roommate, Isabel, but she's gone. She is sleeping with a stranger at his house. Maddie texts Isabel to come home the next day after college courses. Matt visits Josh's residence to check on him. She knocks on the door, but gets no answer. After finding a spare key above the door, she may enter immediately. She finds the place in disarray, with the computer code running. Josh leaves, but he seems altered, not himself. Matthew wonders where he was and why he didn't answer the phone. Instead of replying, he wraps up an Ethernet cord and goes into a room, ordering her to wait in the kitchen. She discovers Josh's kitten starving in a cupboard while waiting. After the tragedy, Maddie runs to ask Josh what's wrong, but to her horror, he has done the unimaginable by utilizing the Ethernet wire. Due to emotional distress, Maddie gets therapy from a doctor. She sobs throughout one session for not preventing Josh's awful destiny. The doctor assures her that it's not her fault and that Josh may have buried his loneliness for a long time. Later that day, Maddie's friends sent her encouraging notes via a group chat. They are surprised when Josh, his account, asks for aid. The 4 pals discuss this weird event on campus the following day. They then suspect Josh's PC is on and a virus is sending the messages. Stone logs off the computer at Josh's residence. Stone visits Josh's scary residence after courses and is horrified. He sees a pale woman panickingly approaching from the wall. Stone attempts to hide beneath the bed, but the ghostly monster consumes his soul. Like Josh's case, Maddie called Stone the following day to see whether he had turned off the computer. As predicted, the possessed Stone seldom calls. Maddie visits Josh's residence to take action. Disturbed by the scenario, she finds the landlady cleaning and emptying the property. Maddie inquires about the computer, but the landlady informs him that it was sold due to Josh's unpaid rent for many months. Despite this, Maddie finds and visits the computer's buyer, Dex McCarthy. He sent weird messages on her boyfriend's computer, she says. Dex confusedly shows her that he hadn't even connected the computer, leaving Maddie confused as she leaves to figure out what she said. After connecting the computer, Dax Slater sees a series of strange films. One video shows Josh shooting himself. Maddie is unnerved when Dex calls her and gives her the disturbing film. Maddie gets Josh's gift 2 days before his death at college a few days later. Inside, she discovers rolls of red tape and a letter from Josh, suggesting they keep them out, adding to the mystery and uncertainty. Maddie starts having frightening dreams, images of evil ghosts as time goes on. People doing the unimaginable in front of her also bother her. These events make her think evil is after her. Her physician rejects her assertions as hallucinations when she sees him. Maddie keeps her schedule and attends college to accept this explanation. She detects a strange tendency. The university is emptying as students leave when Maddie hears unusual sounds in the toilet. She investigates. She runs in terror as she sees someone looking through a restroom door. After many days without a call, Tim visits Stone in the following scene. Tim enters his flat to find him crying and sobbing. Before Tim can respond, Stone is inexplicably drawn in and engulfed by the wall, leaving a black trace. Tim panics and hurries home to red tape the doors and windows. After covering everything, he peers through the door peephole and a large-mouthed humanoid assaults him. Matt's PC goes on and plays odd films the same night. Fearful, she disconnects all computer cords, yet the printer prints graphics. After assembling the printed parts, she sees a fuzzy face. Panicked, she walks to the access point to report her discoveries. He shows her what Josh sent Douglas through video. They discover that Josh hacked Douglas's computer and accidentally released a virus that created a doorway between the living and the dead. Josh also built a counter program and planned to meet Douglas at the library to solve this. The creature caught him before he could act. Dex discovers Josh's counter software in the PC case, disguised with red tape. Just as Isabel is about to do her laundry, the lights flicker and the washing machine door opens, releasing the clothing. She approaches to inspect and potentially gets trapped. Spider-like thing appears and drains the saw from her, horrifying her. After returning home that night, Maddie finds her roommate Isabel afflicted by the demonic. Just then, Isabel turns to ash, advising Maddie that the thing would soon claim her fearful and desperate. Maddie calls Dex, who quickly picks her up. Dex believes he found Douglas's location, and they headed there together. The city is is in apocalyptic disorder, with damaged cars and dread everywhere. They also meet a family that tells them to go to a less technologically advanced place, since the monsters are coming from computers. However, Maddie and Dex are determined to shut down the system and halt the chaos. They arrive at Douglas' place to find his room wrapped in red tape. Douglas emerges from a closet and immediately tapes the door. The pair begs to know what's happening, fearing ghosts may enter. Douglas explains the beginning. He says Josh and his telecom team identified frequencies no one knew existed. They expanded those frequencies, unwittingly letting souls from another dimension infiltrate the living world. Douglas also claims that these ghosts make individuals murder themselves by stealing their will to life. After understanding this, Maddie and Dex understood they needed to install Josh's counter application in the university building's basement server computer to halt it. After gathering this information, Dex and Maddie go to the server room. After arriving at the institution, a terrifying army of cyberbeings stalks them as they go to the basement via the hallways. Spirits follow them. Dex holds the door and encourages Maddie to use the elevator. He attempts to catch up as she enters. Maddie must go alone because of similar ghosts. Power goes out as the elevator descends to the basement, stopping it. Maddie escapes the stopped elevator and enters the server room. One of the cyber ghosts approaches her gently. She is then enveloped by phantom arms that appear to want to swallow her. Dex saves her and warns her not to stare into the spirit's face just before she seems to die. Dex installs the counter application on the primary computer. This crashes the system, vanishing spirits temporarily. The ghosts return minutes later as the machine reboots, forcing Maddie and Dex to drive away from the city. After a long trip, they stop to relax. Soon after, the army wakes them up with a radio broadcast proclaiming safe zones without internet, mobile phones, or TVs. They are ambushed by a four-armed humanoid before they can respond to the news. Despite this fierce encounter, Dex starts the vehicle and drives to a low-signal region, leaving the spirit behind. The movie closes with Maddie's voiceover musing on their new situation as they reach a secure zone. We can't return. The cities are there. We live differently today. The things supposed to unite us instead linked us to inconceivable powers. The old world is gone. The desire to live endures. Click subscribe for more videos like this, and click another video to enjoy another best movie explained in less time.